Hey guys, it's Bryony. So it's currently about 1:50 and the last few days, actually last few weeks, have been a bit crazy to be honest. But quick catch up. So as most of you know, I became a foster carer in August last year. Before that I was a host for a charity called Refugees at Home, which basically place homeless refugees with people who have a spare room, and I was a host for women and women with children. So when I became foster carer, I obviously stopped doing that. But recently I was taking a break and I currently only am doing respite care, which is much more spaced out and you usually get a bit of notice about when that's happening. So I contacted Refugees at Home just literally a couple of weeks ago and said, by the way, just currently taking a break, so if you have any urgent cases, do let me know and I might be able to help out there. And this week on Monday, I got a message from them saying, we've got this mum with 2 kids, a baby and a 4-year-old, who we need to place. Would you be able to take them? So they sent me over the file. I read through it and I said, yep, this is fine. And, oh, no, that's not that. And I said, yes, that's fine. So because I've been fostering, I don't actually have a adult-sized bed in there anymore. It's just literally a cot bed. So I've had to message my mum and say, could you please bring the camp bed over that they have, and I'm going to pop that up in there. And then I also have a Moses basket that I think the baby can sleep in, and then the 4-year-old, like I said, can go in the cot bed, so that should be fine. And it's not a long-term placement; it'll probably be only a few weeks. But yeah, so I thought it'd be interesting to turn the camera on and show you guys what it's like when this happens, because when you first get the message, it's never confirmed, and then you've got to go back and forth and say, okay, when are they coming? Who knows? So far I've heard that they've said they could move today, afternoon or evening, and I've just gone back and said that's fine, but I have got something on in the evening. So when I spoke to them previously, they said that she'd be okay to move sometime this week. So I've just said if they possibly can move tomorrow, it would be better for me because I need to get a photography shoot I've got this evening at my house out the way, which would help because then they wouldn't have to stay in their room or anything, which I don't like asking people to do on the first night, or ever for that matter. But you know, it's when someone first comes and you just have these strangers coming to his house, it's not great. So I was saying if they could delay it, it'd be great, but if not, I'm sure we'll work it out, we'll work around it. So yeah, we'll get along with that. But I figured I'd bring you along for the ride just to show you what it's like when you get an emergency or a very quick placement, because like I said, it wasn't actually confirmed till today, so I've only just literally had like, okay, I need to go and unwrap the bassinet that's currently wrapped up from being stuck in the cupboard, and then I need to get the room ready and make sure I've got enough shopping done as well, because I need to find out what they need, and you have to find out dietary requirements and all this stuff. So I quite like it, it's quite exciting, and I'm good when I'm put on the spot like this and working around it, but yeah, we'll see, so come along and join me. So this is the current state of the room. So as you can see, the cot bed's actually set up fine. I just took one of the sides off for a previous, I thought I was going to have some respite a couple of weeks ago, so I made it ready, but that actually didn't end up going ahead in the end. But I just thought, because it was only short time, I took one of the sides off, because taking this from a cot to a bed is a bit of a hassle, so I just thought I'd do that. And again, this will be fine for now, so that's all made up. I need to take this plastic packaging off this bassinet, and then I think that will be fine. And I obviously need to take the swing down. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is move the cot over to this side and then put the bed along here and move this out the way and stuff. I think it'll fit better, and obviously I need to get rid of that swing. But then, yeah, I just need to move a few things around and we should be good to go. So this is what I have currently done. I've just moved the cot bed over from that side to this side. I put the Moses basket here while I get, as I said before, I need to get my mum to bring the camp bed over. I can't remember how big it is, so I might need to switch this one that way round, but we'll fit it in there, it's fine, and then this Moses basket can go next to it. She might actually want me to take the rocker off it, so it's just literally this basket bit on the floor, but we'll see. So yeah, the last bit I need to tackle, I put the bookcase down here that was on the floor next to it, and I've cleared out some of these. I'll actually move some of those books out in there, and then they can use those little holes as storage. Some of these baskets, I think that one, and that one will have things in it, but I can clear this one out. Put it with my foot. Yeah. This one, and this one are empty, and I might move them around and put, yeah, I'll sort that out then. That's a toy box, and I need to deal with this. So I need to basically clear out all the stuff that's currently stuffed down here so there's some space for them. to store things in there too. So it is currently around 22:05 now, and I've just had confirmation that they're definitely coming tomorrow, which is good because I'm not going to get the bed over here until later, so that has taken one worry off my mind. I've had their number as well given to me, so I've been just messaging. This is always a bit tricky to organise like pickups and drop-offs, because I've said I'm happy to go and pick them up because I've got car seats and everything, that's fine. But when English isn't their first language, or sometimes I've had guests who haven't spoken any English at all. Fortunately, this one does have a very little bit of English, but it's very, very basic, so trying to ask a question via text is very tricky. So I've had to go, this time I'll pick you up if that's okay, and then they'll go, thank you, see you tomorrow, that sort of thing. So that makes it easier, just doing one question at a time, not bombarding with stuff. I did want to know if they needed anything food wise. I do know their dietary requirements, but I wanted to know if there was anything they particularly wanted before they came. But unfortunately the referrer, so when this works, the guests will usually go and speak to another charity organisation who know refugees at home and will refer them to refugees at home. That person then becomes the referrer, and in this case the referrer's English isn't particularly great either, which is a bit unusual. But yeah, so I haven't been able to communicate as best as I would probably have liked. It's not a disaster or anything, it's just I haven't been able to find out whether there's any particular food like that they'd want me to buy, because I eat plant-based at home. I've got no milk or eggs and stuff, so I'll probably just make sure I've got the basics like bread and other bits, and I need to do a shop anyway, so I'll go and do that tomorrow before they come, and just leave anything else, and then when they've got here and we know what they might want, I can sort that out then. I might get a mini pot of milk actually and just see, because see if they want to use up or something, I don't know. It just for emergency. So that sort of thing, that's the kind of tricky part of this, is working that out. But during the first day, usually that stuff gets sorted. I've cleared out the spare room, got everything ready for when the camp bed arrives, and I'll get that set up, and then I'll show you that later on. And yeah, so at the moment it's just a quiet time now, just kind of preparing, speaking, getting to know it where they are. I've had a look on the map as well, and where they live is a little bit funny, the address. I'm not quite sure whether to go to the front or the back and how to find the door, but we'll get around to that tomorrow. So it's just all these bits that you don't think about when you don't do this, but yeah, that's going ahead. The other thing that's a bit interesting is because they've got no recourse to funds, I was a little bit worried about finances and stuff, because obviously I'm a foster carer, so when I foster I get an allowance for the foster children, but when you host that doesn't happen, you don't get an allowance at all. It's a voluntary thing, and I just put some stuff in my business to mean I had more time for the fostering, but then that meant I got sort of less money, so I was a bit like, oh, not sure about that. So I was thinking, I'll probably just do a little fundraiser and stuff just to get the essentials for them, because I know they're running a bit low on clothes and other stuff. And then I messaged the Refugees at Home, and apparently since I began 4 years ago, they've grown quite a bit, which is obviously great for them, in terms of being able to reach and help more people. Sad that they're needed, but you know, there you are. But there is now a little bursary, so I was like, oh, that should be helpful. So I don't think we'll need to do a fundraiser then, but I'll have a look what until people arrive, you've genuinely no idea what people are going to come with, so we'll just have to see, and if there's anything they really need, then I might do a little fundraiser or something for them, and I'll just pop it down here if that's the case. But yeah, so that's looking positive. There's good things going on. We'll see what happens, and we'll just the key here is just go with the flow, just adjust as things happen, and be very open-minded as to how things are going to pan out and what people might need, and don't have any expectations, and then you're good to go. Good morning. It is now Thursday. And my dad's literally just been to drop the camp bed off, so this is what we currently have in the state of this room. I need to put this down, move these. I need the car seat, but I need to move these back into the cupboard in the hall, I think. Get this all set up, get the bed covers on, and then I think we're done for this room. So I think this room is finally done now, so let me just give you a little pan round. So this is the site you see as you walk in. I've just written welcome on the wall there, and then this is the layout in here. This is going to go into the bathroom, this little stool. This is a toy box, obviously a little bin there. And if I come a bit further in, switch you around my hand, sorry for the jerky action. So I've just set up the little changing table area over here. It turned out it worked better if I turned it this way, facing the end of the bed. This is a little bit smaller than I thought, which is good. On my old full-size bed, definitely wouldn't have fit all of this in, I don't think, so it's good that we had the camp bed. And then there's a little nappy bin down there. There are reusable nappies in here, so that's okay. But the top drawer is empty for stuff to go in. bed here, bassinet for baby here, toddler bed here, some towels on the end, washing basket which they can use. I've put the bookshelf just on the top here, and then these 3 baskets are full of stuff, but these 4 are empty, and they can obviously use those cubby holes too. So that is what the room looks like. Oh, then, and at the end here there is, just go around the door, some storage for, I think I used it with shoes with my foster children, but you could put anything on there. And then some little coat hooks as well, and the cute little hot air balloons on the wall. And then in the living room, I've just got some toys in this little shelf bit here, some more toys there, and I'm going to put one more toy out on there that I need to take out the cupboard later. And I'm also going to move this basket into this corner here, and then they can use the table as a little marker that I need to wash off too. I'm just scoffing breakfast before I have to go see my friend at 11. So I'm going to be running around like a mad woman today. I've got to go see my friend at 11, spend some time with her, then I've got to go and do a quick food shop, because A, there's quite a lot of stuff on my list, and B, there's some things I want to get. I always try and do like a little essentials pack when we come stay here. So like toothbrush, toothpaste, some shampoo, we've got soap, shampoo, and also some sanitary pads as well, some menstrual pads. In case you need that too. And it also helps to open up a conversation with them of saying, hey, you know, if you need this, just let me know. My job's talking about periods, so don't worry, I'm not going to be squeamish about it. Feel free to ask me, that kind of thing. So I always like to do that, and then I just need to get some bread and some other essentials in as well, because that will just help smooth it out, I think. And then I've got to run and go pick them up at 3:30 today, because I offered to pick them up. It just makes it a bit easier, I think, for the parents if they've got 2 kids and picking up lots of stuff. But yeah, it should be interesting, because I'm not sure if I've said this before, but I've not had 2 children with a mum before, so I'm quite pleased that all the stuff fit in the room. It just depends how long little one can stay in the bassinet before they need a bigger cot, and then it will get a little bit interesting, I think, but we'll still fit them in, it's fine. We'll squeeze in for a short period of time, but yeah, let me just finish my breakfast. So it is almost 2:15 now. I've got about 45 minutes before I need to leave to go pick them up, and I just thought I'd show you what I was making up in my little welcome kit. So I managed to find a nice colourful bag from all the like gift bags and birthday stuff that I've collected over the years. I found one that's quite small, which is good. So I'm just going to put into it, I grabbed some basic toothbrushes from the shop today, just in case, you know, they're in like 30p or something, plastic, but you've got to prioritise on this, and it's just getting the essentials done. Then I got just have a little packet of tissues, which I'm also going to add in, and then I've also got some sanitary pads. So I have a pack of daytime ones here that I was actually sent for some review, I think, a while ago, because they're eco-friendly ones, which is good. So there's something eco-friendly-ish in here. Obviously, if you're familiar with me, you'll know that I actually work in sustainable menstrual products, so after they've arrived we can have a conversation about that, but this is just like the welcome pack. There's no time for that beforehand. So I've also got just a couple of overnights as well, which I'm just going to tuck in to here too. And then the last things I have are just some nice, you know, little gifts really. So I have some hand cream, I'm just going to pop in a little smooth on up body butter, and a little body wash as well, which I just think it's nice to have a little welcome box. So that's just what I have to help them feel a little bit more welcome when they get here. It's also a great time for me to use up all those little things that you sometimes get often for your birthdays or for Christmas, which I don't know about you, but I never use them. So I think, oh, it's quite nice to put them into these little gifts, and then they don't get thrown away or wasted. They actually get used for something good. I'm just about to head off now, but I thought before I did, I'd just give you one last tour of the room that I have finally finished with. So as you can see, everything is pretty much the same as I showed you earlier, but I've just tucked the little gift bag in there. Now the last thing I need to do is switch out one of the car seats in the car, which is too big, and switch it for that little infant carrier down there for the baby. And then I think that's it. Oh, actually, I need to go, so I'll catch up with you a bit later once they're here and they're settled in. This will be my my 9th placement actually in the last 4 years that I've had, so I don't really feel particularly apprehensive or nervous at this point. It's my 9th placement and my 8th one with children, so I mean it's different because it's 2, but yeah, I'm quite used to this now. So it is currently around 7:30 in the evening, and today's gone really, really good. Actually, I think this has been one of my easiest placements I've ever had to settle. I've got to keep my voice down because they're sleeping next door and I don't want to wake anyone up. But yeah, I think that's definitely got to be one of the easiest placements I've ever settled in. Really nice, really sweet. I'm still kind of getting to know, at this stage you kind of find out a few bits and bobs, bits of information that you have, and then as the days go on, we'll figure things out. They get more comfortable with me, I get more comfortable with them. It's just a gradual process. So, like I said, I don't really know how long this is going to be. It could be very short, it could be much longer. I'll have a better sense in the next kind of week or two, when I hear from like the solicitors and the people who are involved, as is the case with all of them. But nothing, you never have a finite, very rarely you have a finite time. So yes, but yeah, today has gone really, really good, and I'm hopeful that it will continue on. So I hope you found this interesting to watch, maybe helpful if you're thinking of hosting. It's actually not that common to get mums with children. It's become a little more common. We still need hosts for them, but it's much more about the single men. They're usually the ones that need hosting, so I often go with like big gaps between hosting. So even before I became a foster carer and I was just doing refugee hosting, it was kind of intermittent. You could have it kind of like a month apart, or it could be, I think I went almost a year without a placement at one point, so it's not like a super regular thing that's needed. But if it's needed, it's needed, and this just happened to be in the one time I was having a bit of a break from fostering, although I wasn't doing as much. I'm still on like the respite stuff, but that's less frequent. So yeah, that's just happened to fall in the right time, and I could help out, and it's going well. I get a feeling, for me, after having done this quite a few times now, I can tell pretty much within the first day whether we're going to be all right, and I'm very confident that this will be fine. So it's been really nice. They loved the room. The little one came in, and mother actually covered his eyes and was like showing it as a surprise, because I think they'd been somewhere really, really small before. So yeah, it was really nice to see. That's probably the best reaction I've ever had to the room, which is lovely, because obviously I put some work into putting it together. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time I have a video for you guys. Okay, everyone,